Good evening and welcome to the Breakfast Club evening session. Good evening, Shirley.
Good evening, Joe.
We have a special guest tonight. We'll get to it in a little bit. Good evening, Len.
Good evening, Joe.
Good evening, Len.
Good evening, Shirley.
Well, we are excited to have you here tonight. We're going to get started right away. We had a little mishap this morning, but we blame Google for that. It was a Google problem, and we're all set, ready to go now. So let me just go over this. And for those people that listen to the replay, this would be a good idea to get out there, because I think that we look at great ideas that, especially here now at Cool Brands with Len Kenzie. We look at this idea and we see this wonderful product that we are all going to benefit from. And what most people don't know is that Len has an entire future planned with Zip & Store. So I know a little bit about it. I don't know a lot about it. I just know a few of the things that he's working on and planning and so on. And it's a really, really big deal with future revenue and future royalties for the community. So I'm very excited about that. So we'll get to hear what the future looks like from Len. But I want to just say this. This industry, this home business industry, is filled with people who aren't making enough money. And I say this all the time, that it's 95% of the people. And most people don't see a clear vision to changing that. They don't see how that's going to happen. The only thing they have is a new company, a new idea, a new product, maybe new leadership, and thinking that's going to change. It's why people go to another company and another company and another company most of the time, because the success that they're having that they're trying to have is not happening for them. So we get confused as to what the real problem is. So if you're listening now, the replay, pretty important to write a few of these things down. The first thing that needs to be addressed in order to be successful, and I can tell you this, Shirley, if this isn't done, then people can count on the same thing happening again over and over, which is failure, not enough money, struggling. The first thing that has to happen in all of business, regardless of the platform, is you have to have a plan. Your plan. The company has a plan, but you have to have your plan. Number two, you have to have a system within that plan. And number three, you have to get active with that plan. You have to execute it. So if you go back to the plan, what does a plan look like? It starts with a goal. What is it that you want to achieve here by working? Let's use Cool Brands. The first question you need to ask yourself is, how much money do I need to make on a monthly basis to make this worth my time? I'll say it again. How much money do you need to make on a monthly basis to make this worth your time? Once you have that answer, my suggestion is you write that down now. Nobody's going to ask you. Just write it down. What is that number? The second part of that question is, when do I want to start receiving, or what is the deadline for that goal to be achieved? When would I like to start making that X amount per month? Let's say it's $1,000 a month. That would be more than most people have made ever in this industry. $12,000 a year. But let's say that you were realistic about it and said, I want to make $1,000 and I want to do that by June of 2017. Let's say that that is your goal. Now that you have that in place, you need a plan to get to it. What is the game plan? What would I be doing is the next thing to get to that goal. And in our case, it would be marketing on social media. We have some great teachers here to teach you that. We have videos available for that. Training sessions, leaders who are really willing to help you. So you have social media as one of the tools. You have email, an email system, maybe through a contact manager. You have telephone calls, and you have personal contact where you actually see people outside. The telephone calls could go with people you know and people you don't know. It's the only option you have. Then you have outside, if you run into somebody, what takes place if you decided you really wanted to talk to them. Now, I'm only talking to the people here, Len and Shirley, that want to build a substantial income. There are people who are going to just want to, and let's use Zip and Store as an example, they're just going to want to pledge on a product and receive royalties. And they'll do that to several products where they will not have to recruit, they will not have to sell, and therefore they will be somewhat limited on the amount of royalties that they will receive. But the truth is they could still get in profit by just helping an inventor get a product or service to the market. But for those that want to build, you are not going to make it without that plan in place. If you don't decide how much, what are the activities you are willing to do to get to that, the next part of it is how often do I need to do that? So there's the plan, putting that plan in motion right there. And then you must create the system, meaning that, let's say you're going to have, maybe you're going to make phone calls. You have to schedule the days and time to do that. Maybe it's once a week. You say, I'm going to call 30 people one day a week or maybe twice a week, and I'm going to make those phone calls. And I'm going to put information in front of people, which means market to them to see if I can find the interested party. So you're going to do that. So you have to, if you do that every day or every scheduled day, that's called a system. And if you put that in place and say every Wednesday, every Monday, every Wednesday, I do that. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I send emails and I return calls for those who, for follow-up. And in the afternoon, maybe, or at evening, I get home from work and I go to social media and I do postings. I go shopping once a week. I'll make sure that I drop off X amount of advertising pieces. When you get in place, on paper, those activities, when you're going to do them, how long you're going to do that activity, that's called a system. It's like going to the car wash and putting your car in, getting out of the car and handing over the keys to the person there. And they have a system of cleaning your car. They do this, they do that, they do this, they do that. It goes through, it comes out, and everything is done exactly the same on a consistent basis. That gives you the result, the same result over and over and over again. So you can put it all on paper and develop that plan and the system within the plan, and now you have to execute. Now you have to go live and go do it. So planning it, putting it together, That's all well and good. But if you don't go and stick to it, nobody's going to follow you to do the same thing. And they don't have to have the same days of activity you have. But once you get that system in place, that you're doing the same thing over and over and over again, you will find the interested parties who want to come along with you. Without that structure, you are not going to make it. When I say make it, you're not going to get to where you want to get to if you are saying, I want to make $5,000 a month. That is not going to happen by accident. You know, a famous hockey player out of Philadelphia once said, you know, success is not the result of spontaneous combustion. You have to light the fire. So you've got to light this fire here and make a decision on what is it that you really want to do. What activities are you willing to do, when, how long, and then execute. So I wanted to bring that to our attention. I'm going to share my screen here, Len, to lead you into this. But I wanted to make sure everybody, look, if you're not doing that, if you're not following what we just talked about, you're in danger. It's not going to happen by itself. And I think some people are already experiencing that. There's some kind of lull. But let me share my screen and see what we have here. Tell me when. Let's see, share my screen. Let's share it. Let's go here. Can you see my screen, Shirley?
I can see it, Joe.
Shirley, how about you?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay, so what we have here is, this is an advertising piece that we worked on. Bill Hilbert is the guy who laid this out. He's on the call with us tonight. I'm sure he's listening in. And we worked together on this to put together what we consider to be a attractive advertising / marketing piece. And you know, after we did it, we brought it to Len. He really likes it. So this thing should be ready within a couple of days. We'll show you where to get this. This is not a download. It would cost you a fortune to download this and use up all this ink. So we have a printer doing it at very reasonable prices. See if I can bring this up a little closer. Did it get any closer? Glenn, can you still hear me?
It went
Yep,
blue.
I can still hear you.
Okay, I just want to know if that's big enough on the screen. I can't go anywhere after I put this up.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, all right, so anyway, this is part of the tools that we'll be using as part of a system. My goal with this is to expose people to the product line. Now, we promised the inventors, such as Len, to help launch by pledging. We did that. Len's job is to get this ready for us so that we can market this, so that we can go out there and tell the world all about it, get it in front of people, and some people, sales will occur due to that. But it's our job now to do the things we just talked about. It's not enough just to do social media or to do emails or phone calls. It's not enough. You got to know what to do when you're out and about. This has become my business card, Len, basically, for the time being, for the next 6 months. This is what I will hand people. It tells them that they can go look at a video right here if they click that on. This is for everybody can use this. This one you cannot use because you have to put your own referral link for sales in there to order it. So you'll know more about that later. And then the work from home offer goes to my presentation where Peter gives a 35-minute video. It's a opt-in page at Rock. And they opt in and then they go watch the video. So that's what when you go to order this, it's going to ask you for certain areas to change. You'll have to change this and your name, address, phone number, and this. So, but I wanted to show it to you, to show you, how impressive this is. And when you're going out, you just have to know if you did give this to somebody, I intend to put these up everywhere. I want to help this product get off the ground in sales. So the sales will happen here, not to mention the 18% that you're going to get. So my goal is to leave this everywhere. If someone says to me, what do you do? Or I'm just talking to somebody, I'm handing them this. And the conversation is, yes, I'm part of a company that helped launch this product. And by the way, I'll be getting royalties when this product is sold worldwide. I'm receiving royalties on the product. That's all I will ever say live. Can you tell me more? I'd love to. Go ahead and go to my website down the bottom here, and let's get back together and see if we actually, because we are looking for some good people who are honest and ambitious. By the way, what is your email? I can send you some additional information. You put your head down, you look at your paper, and you write. So this is, I wanted to show this, Len, and I'm going to turn this over to you, and we'll see. You know, I'm really excited that you are with us today and that given us a glimpse into the future. Thanks for being here. Len Kenzie.
Thank you, Joe. I really appreciate it. Can you hear me okay there?
I got you.
So I just met with the patent attorney today, and we probably spent about 2 hours together talking over the various things that we're looking at doing. And probably this guy was incredibly excited, and he's seen this before, and he said I had actually written the provisional patent for it and applied for that, and he said Len, you did a great job on supplying all the information and pictures for the provisional patent, and he said you didn't say anything to anybody else before this came on to Kickstarter. I said, nope, everything was, our patent, that provisional patent was applied for before we showed it to our group. And so he says you're great here, you're great international with patents. We talked about where this is going, how many, this just isn't applicable, and I wish I could share this with people, but I'm almost kind of locked up now. He said, don't share any of your new stuff. He said, wait till we apply for patents for those. But this is, it's literally so huge, it's going to end up being more of a platform and instead of just a product. There's so many applications to this. In 5 years, I believe that within 5 years, a household is going to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different products in different segments of the household that are going to incorporate the Zip and Store, technology kind of that we've developed. This revolutionary kitchen storage system is just applicable to so many other facets of life in consumer products, in industrial products. It is just, I could literally, and I've told Joe about some of these things that's happening with Zip and Store, and I could probably easily take the next hour or two and just go on, about how this is expanded out and into more of a broad platform. It's just huge, And I'm not even sure how I can share with people how huge and diverse and big this is. But it's like I have a hold of the tail of a cat or a lion, and the lion's in a cage or in a cave, and I can't see how big this lion is, but it's huge. It's literally huge. We're talking about, there's no way I can probably even get some of these things to market in the next 2-3 years because there's just so many of them. So we're actually looking at licensing some of these out to hit and just pound Zip and Store into the market and have this big insurgence and just this successful launch is very broad and very wide, with other products other than for the refrigerator. So it's really that huge, you know. Um, you know, and I've talked to Joe about this value that Zip and Store has, you know, being combined with Cooler Brands and sharing with people, you know, if you know if somebody lost a a letter full of money and maybe it was $5 and they lost, maybe they wouldn't search for it very hard, you know. But if there was $500 or $1,000 in that letter, they would probably search pretty hard and they would tear things up and they would try to find that, you know. So it's just the same thing with the points for Zip and Store. I think if people knew, I think so, I don't know, if people knew the 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 extreme value of this, they would say, there is no way I'm letting this let it get, I'm not letting it get by me. I'm gonna get in on this, you know. And I suppose it comes down to the people and what their mindset is with this. Where do they want to go? You know, what do they want to achieve? Do they want to be successful? You know, what's their financial goals? Is it, you know, have just enough to get by, have more than needed, or have a significant, substantial abundance? You know, how bad do they want to be financially successful? How bad do they want it? You know, I heard this story, and maybe you have too, Joe. I heard a guy heard about this guru, but he never met him. So one day he's walking along the beach, and he sees the guru. So not wanting to let this moment slip by forever, he tells the guru, he says, I want to be on the same level that you're on. I want to be successful. And so the guru said, if you want to be on the same level that I'm on, he said, if you want to be successful, I'll meet you here tomorrow at 4 a.m. The man thought, okay, the beach, I said I want to make money. I don't want to, and I want to be successful. I don't want to swim. But the young man got there at 4 a.m. and he's ready to rock and roll. The old man grabs his head and said, how bad do you want to be successful? And this guy says, real bad, you know. He wants it. So the guru says, hey, okay, walk out into the water. So he walks out into the water about waist deep. And he says to himself, this man's crazy. I want to make money. He's got me out here swimming. I didn't ask to be a lifeguard, you know. I want to make money. I want to be successful. Guru says, come out a little further. So he did. And now he's up to about his shoulder area, you know. And I thought, this old guy's crazy. He's making money. He's successful, but he's crazy, you know. Guru said, come out a little bit further. So he comes out a little bit further, right about his mouth. And this young man was like, I'm about headed, you know. I'm going to go back in. This man's out of his mind. But the guru shouted, I thought you wanted to be successful. And he says, I do. Guru said, walk a little further. He comes out just a little bit more. The guru grabs hold of his head, pushes him under the water, and he's holding him down. And the man's scratching and clawing and fighting to get up. Guru kept him down just under the water. And just before the young man was about ready to pass out, the guru raised him up. Guru said, I got one question for you. When you were under the water, what was the one thing that you wanted more than anything? And he said, I wanted to breathe. The guru said, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. You know, listen, my friends, I'm telling you, when Peter, he's been a great friend for a long time. He's been encouraging. He's just been he's had an incredible impact on my life, you know. But when Cooler Brands met Zip and Store, I'm telling you what, I want to be successful like I want air to breathe. There was 3 days and 3 nights where I was up for 72 hours straight, working on this. I was determined. I wanted to succeed, and I wanted to succeed now. You know, Cooler Brands, you know, it's helped this become a successful crowdfunding campaign. You know, and in the next few months and years, we're going to see this success grow, and we're going to see it develop, and it's truly been amazing. You know, but my question for you is, you know, how bad do you want to be successful? How bad do you want it? You know, like you want air to breathe, or do you just kind of want it, you know? Joe sees the potential of Zip & Store, you know, and with Cooler Brands and the value that it brings, and he's working diligently to be successful and achieve his goals, you know, and he's talked to me about them. He has them, you know. He has some great strategies on how to add value, how to gain wealth, how to be successful, and how to reach these goals with these one-time actions that will dramatically affect his income and your income and your success in these years to come. If you listen to that and you follow that and you just follow some of that stuff, you know, you can't be a spectator if you want success. And Joe's willing to share his plan, and he's willing to help and take to heart what he has to say, you know. Like, Jackie Robinson says, you know, life is not a spectator sport. If you're going to spend your whole life in the grandstand just watching what goes on, in my opinion, you're wasting your life. You know, I don't want to waste my life. There is so many things. I'm so excited about this. You know, I've been able to get 20 people in Cooler Brands and get them excited about it. And you know, some of those people, you know, they're fine. They don't want to do anything. But there's some people that they want to do. They want to move forward, and they want to have success in their life. And I'm a part of helping them, and I want to do that. And Joe's a part of helping them, and he's willing to do that. So he has a lot of great advice. I met him a month and a half ago whenever I was out to see Peter, and I'm excited. I'm excited about seeing him then. And I'm just excited at what he's doing, and he is a great asset to Cooler Brand. Let him be a great asset to you and your future, and 3, 4, 5 years down the road. Let him help you. Joe?
Yeah, Len, that is fantastic. You know, we are on the verge of something very, very big here, and we all know it's not get rich quick. It is work hard to achieve what you want. But I think you said the key thing: how bad do you want it? And that's not enough for anybody.
I heard Zig Ziglar say, if you do what you have to do when you have to do it, there will come a time you can do what you want to do when you want to do it. You know, now's the time to do what you have to do, and there's going to come a time when you can do what you want to do, when you want to do it, whenever you want to do it.
You know, the missing piece to the puzzle, in my opinion, is the communication part of this. You know, because we can talk to people about their goals, put their plan, have their success, get it into the activity part is where the difficulty starts for most people. It's not in the planning and getting everything ready. It is in the execution, and that entails communicating. And if you just learned how to be a manager or a director in training as opposed to the director, meaning that you don't answer questions that you're not qualified to answer. You don't try to explain these things. You move them to other people. But there's a technique to move them. And I'm going to be, at least for the next month, I'm going to be running calls, Len, on Tuesday nights, and I'm going to help people with their dialogue. I'm not going to give the class away at that time, but we're going to talk about what's happening when you're talking to people. What is happening when someone is asking you to give them more information or, you know, tell me more about your company? What are you really doing? Because this is where the difficulty starts, when you start blabbing away. And once you start blabbing away, if you don't have a technique, and that's the key, is the word technique. It's like the word system. There's a way to explain this to somebody, even when you hand them this card. It doesn't require a conversation after this. How would I get one of these? Well, you know what? Let me have your email address, or you can contact me on there, and I'll put you, I can help you with that, or I can get you over to our sales department. I'm actually in marketing. That's why I'm giving these out today. But our sales department could really help you. We have a sales department. We have people who love to do this. And it is the language. It is what you are, how you are thinking about the way you've done business over the years that is preventing you from being able to have the success that you want. It does start with that. How bad do you want this? So in other words, I'll put that another way, Len, for people. What is it that you want to achieve? In other words, not everybody on this call or in this company is saying, I want $50,000 a month, $20,000 a month. They're not all doing that. We know that. That's okay. They didn't come here for that. A lot of people came, no recruiting, no sales required. We know that. But what we are talking to are the people who say, I really want this. So I think the first question you have to answer yourself as we close here is this. Do you really want to make a substantial income? It's either yes or no. Then how much do you need to make on a monthly basis to make it worth your time? And then follow the plan, the system, and the execution of it. So, but the key is, what is it that you want out of it? Is it just a little bit? Is it a lot? And develop it that way. Without these little questions and answers in place, I promise you, there's no one's ever made that. Zig Ziglar would have told you that. Tom Hopkins would tell you that. Safford would have told you. Everybody would tell you, without a written plan. It's called a clear, concise mental picture written down. It's called a CCMP, a clear, concise mental picture of the thing you want to achieve, and it's written down. So I'm going to leave you with that. Get a clear, concise mental picture of your future with Kula Brands. Get that. Take time to think about it. What is it? And then write down, okay, this is what I want out of it. Here's how much I want to make, and here's my plan for doing it. And then, honestly, you really need to learn how to communicate your message. If you never want to talk about sales, the marketing, and explain this, that's okay. You have to know the technique to say, I'm going to get a hold of one of our directors who can help you. I'm going to get a hold of our sales department. They can help you with that sale. I'm going to get someone that helps you. What I do is this. I'm the secretary, so to speak. I am the marketing agent. But when you learn these techniques and learn how to utilize them within your conversation, this all changes. And I can tell you who's on this call that will tell you that. And it's Shirley on the call here. Because a year ago, without embarrassing her, I am sure she would tell you she wouldn't know how to talk to anybody. Today, I would put her up against anybody. I listen to her. I hear her. I
talk to anybody.
What's that?
A year ago, I couldn't talk to anybody. I was too scared.
Yeah.
Today,
Not
it's
anymore.
more fun to talk to strangers than it is to people you know.
Yeah. Now she works at it all the time, calling me saying, oh, I got this one. I got that. This is what I'm going to do. Here's my plan. She's following a plan and a system. And it's working for her.
I'm going to be a director by the end of December.
Cool. Well, I believe you can be. All right. So let me, hey, Shirley, thanks for being a great student and now becoming a great leader here at Kula Brands. It's fantastic.
Thank you for being a great teacher. Anisha wants to know about getting the card. She thinks she missed it.
No, didn't miss anything. We're going to keep you informed as to when they are available in the next couple of days. They're at the printer now, and they're getting a site ready to put up. So, Len, any other questions first, Shirley?
Julie wants to know, how do we order them?
Yeah, same thing. We're gonna put up a website where you're gonna go to, and they'll click a button. It'll have the template there ready. Fill out this, fill out that, and your cards will be on their way. We'll have another call shortly about this. Okay, we'll have another call. Just wanted everybody to be aware. This is what's coming. This is a great piece. I cannot wait to get my hands on these. to just be able to hand to people when I go. I'm going to put them in shopping carts everywhere I go. I'm going to drop them in the supermarket and somewhere. Somebody will pick them up. I'm going to have them everywhere. When somebody asks me anything about my business, I'm handing them this and saying this is just one of the products and inventions that we helped get to the marketplace, by the way, and we're getting revenue. We're getting royalties for this. We have plenty of more projects coming out. Go ahead, take a look at this, and let's talk. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, I wish I would have had them when I went to the Women's Expo, but I did get almost 100 business cards.
Oh, well, we're going to work on that plan to get this over to them. We'll get these cards to them. Oh, fantastic. We can mail them to them. All right, well, Len, any final words here? Len, thanks for being with us tonight. Just a couple of inspirational words, and we'll say goodnight.
Thank you, Joe. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you, Shirley, and everybody at Cooler Brands. It's been it's truly amazing, and I'm so excited about what the future holds for Zip & Store and for Cooler Brands. And there's so many things that are going to take place and move forward, and I'm so blessed to just be a part of this. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Joe.
Thanks, Len.
Hey, thanks, Len, for being here, and thanks again. We'll see you again in the future here. We'll bring you aboard as soon as we'll have these cards ready soon. I know you're excited about these. This is going to get information in the hands of everybody, and this is fantastic. So thanks, everybody, for being here and supporting the Breakfast Club, and we will see you next Tuesday again at the Breakfast Club, but look for some updates. We'll get the information out there to you, and we'll look forward to it. Once again, this is Joe Shoup here at the Breakfast Club with Shirley Pitts and our special guest, Len Kenzie. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for being here.